In our homework, what we're going to use is these diagrams to help us with our multiplication of fractions. The first thing is we want to make sure that we recognize that the numerator is the number of counters on the grid and the denominator is the number of squares on the grid. So in our first example here, we can say that the number of counters, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the grid is going to be out of 8. So the fraction that represents is 5/8. And this one here, they show us addition on this grid. So we have a 5/6 plus a 3/6. And when we count up the counters, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 counters on the two grids, but since each of those counters represents 1/6, our denominator stays as 6. So when we add it, we only add the numerators and keep the denominators the same. Now, in this case here, they're asking us to write it as a mixed number. If I want to rearrange those 8 counters, I can do 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That gives us our one full grid, and then we have our 2 extra counters, 1, 2, and so we have 2 counters in the second grid, and so we end up with 6/6 plus 2/6, or 1 and 2/6. Okay, so and this one here, they ask us, we can simplify that. 2/6 becomes 1/3, and so we can write 1 and 2/6 as 1 and 1/3. So this is what we're doing, is we're using this counter system, this grid system, for help us with the fractions. Now we're going to use this same system here to help us multiply fractions. So we have 3 times 5 is 15, and that's the same as 5 plus 5 plus 5. So we can our group counting is same as multiplication. So 3 times 5 can be read as 3 sets of 5. So 3 sets of 5 gives us a 15. Now, if we're going to show this multiplication of 3 times 3/4, we can have the 3/4 fractions. That's what we're starting with here. And we are dealing with our 3 groups of these. So I'm going to draw 3 groups of these. And so we end up with 9 counters. Oops, 9 counters in the 3 grids, or 3 plus 3 plus 3. 3 groups of 3/4 is same as 9 1/4 pieces. Or 9 1/4 pieces. Okay, so we can draw the counter, we can make this into a mixed number. We can rearrange these 9 into 1, 2, 3, 4, that makes 1 whole, 5, 6, 7, 8, that makes 2 wholes, and then we have 1 left over. So 3 3/4 can be rewritten as a mixed number as 2. Let me make that, first of all, this is going to be times on top. So we're going to end up with 3 times 3 on top, divide on bottom. That gives us our 9 1/4 pieces, and that can be written as a mixed number as 2 and 1/4 left over.